If you absolutely need to be dating older guys, let me at least help you out. Dating older guys when you're under 20 is the worst decision you'll ever make. Dating older guys when you're over 20 is the best decision you can make. If you don't want to date older guys when you're 20 to 24, I really recommend not dating at all. Ideally, you want to stay away from men ages 15 to 24 in totality. 24 is when they kind of start to screw their heads on a little bit. Most importantly, if you are going to date an older guy, you need to be the first younger girl he has ever dated. You need to look at his past, and if he has tons of younger girls, he is a predator. And you're just on this season, maybe. There's probably something very wrong with him. The general rule of thumb of what is socially acceptable is half his age plus 7. So a 26-year-old can date a 20-year-old.
Fiction can be fun.
Sweetheart, let me tell you something. You know what you sound like in that video? You sound like a woman who, A, has put on several extra pounds because that second chin is developing, and B, you're either really close to smashing the wall or just recently smashed through it. And if you add A and B together, it equals C, which is you're trying to get rid of your competition. You're trying to tell all these younger women, hey, don't date older guys. You shouldn't date. It's a terrible idea. And if you do it, you have to see if he's dated a bunch of other younger women. That's how you know it's a huge red flag. Sounds like a woman who has experience dating older men. Now the guys that she wants to commit to her are looking for younger women, and she's like, oh, hell nah, I've got to cut down on this. The question is, why should younger women listen to you? You're aging out. And are you actually putting out this advice because you're worried about these women that you don't know? Or is it more likely you're trying to do what most other content creators are doing? You're trying to get something out of it, i.e. get the competition out, so your dating pool gets a little bit bigger. No worries. Soon enough, you'll figure out that you age out of the men that you want and follow your own advice. Add 7 more years to the age range that you want and date those guys. Moving on.
I'm 42, and in my 20s, I thought I was very sophisticated, and I dated a lot of older men. We can say daddy issues. I was a fun girl, but I'm going to tell people now, don't date an older man. Just don't. Because when everybody's stalking their exes online, and you're stalking yours, and you realize he's 75, you don't want to see what he's up to. Or posting on Facebook. You don't even want to see what he looks like. It's not good. Stay young. Trust me. Date within your age range. Or not. Don't listen to me. But I'm telling you, 75 on Facebook. I found a patriotic flag. Ooh.
Old.
Old?
Old.
Damn, Queen, tell us you're trying to get rid of your competition without telling us. I mean, if you're jealous of younger women dating older men, just say it. Your own words. When you were young, you dated a lot of older men. And now you're stalking them and you're like, oh, they're not looking that good. I'm just going to tell you they're not looking that good. So you don't date them as well. And you're saying to other women, stay young when you are in your 40s? Sister, seriously, it's understandable that you're not as hot as you were. It's understandable that your dating pool is a shallow puddle. But this is beyond pathetic when you're trying to convince younger women, or maybe women your own age, not to date older men because it threatens you. Why is it these queens come out here and admit that they dated older men when they were younger and it was A-okay and they did it a bunch of times, and I didn't hear her complaining too much about it. Her only complaint is years later, she's trying to get back with the guys she used to date, but they're in their 70s now. Sorry there, my decades plus post-wall smashed queen. That sounds like a you problem. Stop trying to make it a younger woman's problem. Well, this gorilla's advice to you is that just because you're an old tire that lost a lot of traction, doesn't really give you the right to try to scare into the new tires off the road. Moving on.
Let's talk about why men love young girls so much. There are a number of reasons. A, you are young, so you look good because you have youth on your side. But B, most importantly and most scarily, because you are young and you lack knowledge, so you are easily manipulated. I do not care how much knowledge or experience you have as a woman. If the guy you are talking to is 5+ years older than you, you will be easy for him to manipulate. Now, I would say this stops being applicable from 30+, because I think 30+, everybody is an adult. So a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old or 45-year-old, quite similar, even though there is still an age gap. So let's first understand that most men do not love being held accountable or being forced to be responsible. And what happens is, as women get older, they start to understand the game more, they start to understand men more, and they start to have higher expectation and tougher rules for men. Men do not like that. And men will say that they like younger girls because they look better, obviously youth, and, the children thing. However, there are a lot of beautiful, fine, older ladies who still can have children. The only difference between those two women is that one of them has the experience of age on her side and has experienced things with men. And once you have experience, you have knowledge. You can spot some of these men coming.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Man, the jealousy these older queens have just comes seeping out of their pores. All right, first of all, queen, let me tell you something. Next time you choose a filter, try to get a filter that also covers that hand of yours, because the age gap between your face and your hand is quite noticeable. Now, she said that older men love younger women because A, which she's right, because you're young and men are attracted to youth and beauty. But then she delves deeply into B, because a young woman has the lack of knowledge and she's easily manipulated. And she goes into that word salad of excuses as to, oh yeah, he's going to manipulate this and that. But my favorite part of it was she said, oh, at 30, you're an adult. I've said this so many times. Women love to change things around, change the definition of things when it suits them. So hold up, an 18-year-old woman is not an adult to you. Hell, not even a 29-year-old woman is an adult to you. To you, it's a 30-year-old woman, huh? Hell of a way to try to eliminate your competition. Also, I love the part where she said that most men don't love to be held accountable or being forced to be responsible. Sorry there, queen. I think you confused the word man with woman, because in most aspects of life, men are held accountable and are forced to be responsible. The ones who pull the ejection cord on accountability 9 times out of 10 are women. And boy, oh boy, do women not like to be held responsible for things. And let me drop some game on you there, princess. As women get older, they start to raise their standards because they believe that their SMV, their sexual market value, is going up, when in actuality, it's going down. And the only thing that they realize is, oh snap, my options are starting to dwindle. I can't pull in what I used to pull in. These high-value men that I used to date aren't really looking for me as much as they used to. And Corinne, it's almost laughable when you're trying to compare an older woman's older eggs to a younger woman's more fertile, healthier eggs. Oh, chef's kiss and all, right? Men are conscious that by the time you turn 30, you have less than 14% of your eggs left. And that's the mixed bag of eggs, not the high quality ones. So your blatant lie of saying that the only difference between a younger woman with eggs and an older woman with eggs is the older woman's experience. Please, there's a very clear biological difference. But I get it. You already figured out that your shaming tactics really don't work on most men, so then you turn to the younger women and you're trying your damnedest to get rid of the competition. But let's hear what other golden nuggets of wisdom she's willing to drop.
It is so much easier for a man to spill his lies, his tricks, his manipulation on a young girl because it's probably the first time she's ever coming across that type of situation. She probably does not know what to question him about. She's probably not sure what's going on. Maybe she can feel that something's off, but she doesn't really know what it is. Men also tend to be more financially advanced than the younger girls they are dating. So their finances, in terms of impressing a woman, can go a lot further with a younger lady. Older woman, a lot of times we've done all that YOLO. Not to say the YOLO's over, but we've experienced it. We're looking for the real money now. House money, stocks and shares, 401k if you're in America, retirement, real serious money. That requires thought and planning and responsibility. Remember that thing that men don't love? So the best way to avoid it? Go for a woman that's not going to ask about it. Also, it would be remiss of me to fail to add that a lot of men like younger women because in the age range that they're in, they have scattered the market. Their reputation is known from NW1 to SE26. Those are postcodes if you're in America. And why I say the dating game is rigged is because a man can do all that, mess up the game, get a terrible reputation in his age range of women, and then just go down to the younger generation. And that's what a lot of men do. So I'm not saying don't date younger women, don't date older men. I'm not your mother. I just want to highlight the mindset behind a lot of men's desire to date younger women. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule. For best results, assume it's not you.
Hold up there, Queen. You just said that it is far easier for an older man to lay a bunch of lies on a younger woman, and she feels that there's something off, but she doesn't know what it is. Let me help you out there. See, that's what an experienced man has learned from women doing things to him. They're not lies, they're called half-truths. Something that women are experts at. So let me get this straight. It's okay for you women to do that to men, but the moment that the men fight fire with fire, do the exact same thing back to women, now it's a horrible thing? And your other complaint is that older men are financially stable, they're financially well off, then they can spend money on younger women. What do you think that the younger girls are looking for? In fact, what were you looking for when you were younger and dating an older man? But not soon after that, she comes out and she just puts it all out there that the older women, the ones who have a lower SMV, are basically going out with their golden shovels and looking for the real money, as she put it. Stocks and shares. Oh, so let me get this straight. When this gorilla says that more than likely you're trying to knock your competition out of the way, I'm not exactly wrong, am I? Considering that you're looking for the same thing that young women are looking for, but it's easier for them to find. That is a man's money. And Queen, let me say, you're right. A man having his money requires thought, planning, and responsibility. And you're saying that's the things that men don't like. Well, if they have the money, that means that they already have all three. And guess what's not included in all three? Thoughts! Now, this gorilla finds it funny how this queen says that, oh, older men mess up their dating reputation amongst older women. Alright, Queen, let me tell you something. Most older men do not care what older women think about them, especially if they can go down and date younger women. Want to know why? Because of something that you said that's key. They want peace and quiet, happiness, not somebody who's going to be messing with them 24/7. So if a young woman is going to bring them peace, even for a time, they'll take it. Look at yourself in a mirror there, sweetheart. Yeah, you're older, you're more bitter, you're more demanding, you're quite masculine, regardless if you're in the US or not. But this gorilla finds it amazing that you're not warning these young women about what's going to happen to women like you. That future that has very little money, but a lot of cats and nights filled with plenty of box wine. Moving on.
When I was younger, I liked the idea of dating older men. And now as I get older, I get cringe when I see these older men trying to go for females half their age. And I've came to the conclusion that it's because women their age don't tolerate the BS that they want to put out to the world. Women their age are not keeping up with their nonsense, so they go to the younger girls that they can mold and manipulate because they're more naive. At this point, some of them even give me like pervert vibes. This woman is just getting to know the world and you want to come into it and mess it up at her age? Girls, please don't fall for it. Please don't.
Oh, now that you're aging, now you find older men dating younger women kind of disgusting and you're getting pervy vibes. What kind of vibes were you getting when you were younger and an older guy was taking you out to restaurants, flying you around, taking you to exotic places? You were getting OMG, these are awesome vibes. But now that you've aged out, you probably got rejected by a couple of these older guys that you like. For younger women, all of a sudden, oh no, this is terrible. Let me try to shame these older guys so they won't date younger women. Honey, you're just going through the motions. Pretty soon you're going to realize that your shaming tactics fall flat 99.9% of the time. Oh, don't worry, Colleen. This is something we haven't seen before. Not just this gorilla. Just about every experienced viewer that I have on this channel is going to say the same. Yeah, you were the younger woman dating the older men. Now you're in that transitioning phase we call smashing through the wall. You didn't like how the bricks hit you. And pretty soon, when you realize that none of this is working, you're going to go with the, oh, well, let me try to shame the younger girls not to date the older guys. Yeah, that'll work. Question is, when you were younger, did the older women's shaming tactics work on you? Oh, that's right. They're not shaming tactics. They're warning videos. Tomato, tomato. Did they work? Yes or no? Listen, Queen. All I can say is that your tires may be a little bit worn, but they still have enough traction to get yourself a good enough blue pill beta simp. Cash in your chips and move on. Stop trying to go for the top tier men. In the dating casino, you're low on chip, and it's a long shot at this point. But then again, shots are what you were used to taking, isn't it? I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.